Hello, Soul Fam. How are you doing today? If you're new here, I'm real excited to meet you. And if you're returning, I hope you're having a much better day than the last time that we talked. This is a transformation reading. Just as nature is always growing, changing, and transforming, you are always in a state of continuous transformation as well. This reading is to help you identify where you are currently on your own journey and help you move forward with grace and understanding as you deal with the challenges and growing pains that come with this transformation. So we're just going to go ahead and start with the Oracle cards and see what information that they can give us. These cards are the ones that typically, this and a mix of the tarot, are the ones that typically help me find out where you are now. So let's see what information that we get. Oh. I feel like the cards are being shy, which, okay, well that was just a lot. All right, so much for them being shy. I was gonna say, my card's being shy, that's weird, but all right, let's go with all this. Let's see what happens. Needy. So every time I see the needy card, I'm reminded to look at the picture of this card, because this person just has a bunch of onions, and in my brain, they're just making onion soup. And it's one of those things where it's, when I see the needy card, it's that you feel like you're being needy. You feel like, you are too much of a burden to ask others for help, when that's not the case at all. You can't just live off of onion soup. You need other things in the soup. You need vegetables, you need proteins, you need minerals. And so when I see needy, it's that reminder that asking for help is not being needy. Asking for help is actually part of survival. It's how we live and function as a society. We are not meant to be isolated individuals. We're meant to be people that connect with each other and work with each other. So I'm asking you, are you finding your state and calling yourself needy because you need help? Or are you actually in a state of help and you're just afraid to reach out? Daydream. I love this card, because it's always that reminder that, yes, going up and dreaming, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. I was gonna say going up and dreaming is like a perfect escape, but that's not what I'm trying to get out here. It's that your daydreams help you get closer to your goals. Your daydreams can help you get closer to your true purpose. And I'm not trying to say that you can't escape in your own daydreams. Sometimes you need that. You need a break from reality, specifically right now. But it's one of those things where it's like, daydreaming has a purpose, it has a reason. So while you're in this daydream, learn about yourself, see what you can do, allow yourself to really understand what it is that you're trying to do. But the caveat, because I was going to say something about escaping, and then as I was giving that message, I clearly got cut off. Don't allow it to be where you live. You can't live in the clouds. You eventually have to come back down and ground yourself. So it's okay to be up there for a little bit. The point of the hot air balloon is the hot air balloon eventually is going to run out of fuel. You need to come back down, and you need to allow yourself to ground, to come back to reality, to do the mundane, because our 3D bodies require that. And we're living on Earth, and that is required of us on Earth. Celebration. So this message, the first thing I always think about when I see this card is the Three of Cups, and from the original tarot, because it looks like it's a cup, it's overflowing. But I'm getting a kind of different message with this. Like, typically with the Three of Cups, it's overflowing water, but this looks like there's a fire inside that cup. And actually, I think there's even like logs inside of there. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing. And it's one of those things where it's like, celebration isn't just the act of, yay, like applaud me, yada yada. There's actual a physical thing that comes with celebration, and that's what I'm being focused on right now. So I'm sorry if this feels a little bit disjointed, because this is not my typical message with this card. But what I'm getting at here is that you need to actively celebrate yourself. You need to actively celebrate your wins. You need to actively do something, whatever that means. And yeah, I'm talking about doing like a little dance or something. I'm talking about, giving yourself the ability to, make something or purchase something or wear something or go someplace. It's a physical act of celebration that matters. And it's about you doing the physical act. This card always comes with heavy energy. But here's the thing about this energy, is there is a reason. And you can focus on the why. You can be like, why? Tell me why. Tell me why. But the more you focus on it, the more all this darkness surrounds you. Why instead of focusing on what's happening, the why, and like that overall like heaviness, why don't we focus on what could be, what we can do? So this little light path here to me has always been the potential possibility of what can I do with this? How can I create? Where can I take this? It's real easy to get stuck in the why. I get it. Been there, done that, and I'm not saying anything bad about you for doing it because it is so natural and so nature, like to who we are. But hear me out. When something happens to you and you get it all out of your system, you get the aggravations, you get the frustrations, you go through all the emotions because you have to. I get it. Ask, how is this something that can be part of your story, that can be a positive? And you're going to be like, Kirsten, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I get it. In my own rock bottoms, in my own panics, in my own situations, I didn't ask that question at all. Hindsight, looking back, I can see how all those things shaped me and helped me help other people. So now when I do get to low points, I get it out of my system. I get all the aggravation, the frustration, I get it all out of my system. And then I'm like, okay, I don't know exactly how this can help right now, but help me see how this is helping. Help me see how this is contributing. Help me understand. I stop asking why. I start looking for the light. Glow up. Realize it says glow up and not grow up. And for me, that is so important. If you've been following with my channel for a while now, you know that I believe every person has their own personal season. And there's that dreaded winter season where we all have to just dig our roots deeper, and we have to continue to do the work even though there's no external evidence that our work is being shown, proven, or anything along that lines. This glow up is the evidence coming to you. It's you seeing it in your own self. It's you recognizing it in the mirror. It's you realizing that even 3 months ago, you could not have the same ability to do what you're doing now. This glow up is you realizing, oh, there has been change. There has been transformation, even if it's subtle, even if I'm the only one that notices it right now. But the thing about glow up is people are going to notice. Because the more you continue to like feel comfortable in that light and just lean into that shine, the more you give yourself that ability, the more people are going to notice. And that's a beautiful thing to see. Good news. So my eye literally just got pulled to, I'm assuming that's a bird. I actually don't know what that is. I'm going to say it's a bird, but that could be a lot of things. Like that's a nondescript thing. Anywho, good news. To me, that is literally saying that good news is on your way. And I'm not one of those people that like to, be like, oh, good things are going to happen to you, yada, yada. Hear me out. This card is called good news, okay? Just take it for what it is and understand that good things can come to you, that you are deserving of good things, that good news is something that you are able to receive. So I'm going to challenge you to be open to the idea that good news is headed your way. And all these cards individually seem like they don't have a flow, they don't have an understanding. But hear me out. This is a transformation reading, I already said that. And you are in a midst of transformation. But like right now, where I'm finding you in this reading is you're on a pivotal point where once you cross over, you're never going to be able to be that same old person again. This is a pivotal part of your transformation. And because of all of this, you're going on this up and down cycle. And I get it. Because part of you is a bit unsure and part of you does need help and to understand what it is that you're doing to move forward. And that can be scary to ask. And you have the answers in your dreams. I get that. Trust me. But let's start celebrating. The more we celebrate, the more we're going to find this path. We're not going to be asking the why anymore. We're going to be seeing the path as we celebrate, as we allow ourselves to glow up, and as we allow ourselves to receive the news that is meant for us to receive, the information, whatever it is. That's not the deck I was going for. I was going for my tarot deck next. because I want the tarot deck to tell me why it is, like, I can feel the resistance. I can feel the resistance about something good being good for you. I can feel the resistance of celebrating yourself. Like, look at that. Celebration literally, like, yeah, I mean, that's where I shuffled the cards, but like, it's the only card that moved. So there is resistance and something good happening to you. There is resistance and celebration and the glow up. So I want to know more about what's causing this resistance, because the resistance is not doing you any solid. And if we can get around it, I want to get around it. I don't like that it's holding you back. Two of Wands in its reverse position. Remember that Wands is an action-oriented suit, and this tells me that you are over planning, that you are wanting to have the perfect roadmap. So let's pretend like you're going to take a trip. Your trip's either going to go to Florida or California, depending on where you're at in the US. And the point of this trip is like where you are right now. You are like, okay, I need to have the hotel, I need to have the rental car, and I need to have, you know, everything packed. That's fine. That's the easy stuff to plan. But I said you were over planning, which means that you also want the most direct route with the least amount of construction, where the weather is going to be the nicest, and you need to make sure that you have all the restaurants and all the rest stops perfectly planned, because that way you can have the perfect trip. It's not how this is going to work. First off, you're leaving no room for spirit if this is what's happening. You're leaving no room for any type of help in any way to come your way with this amount of rigidity that you're holding on to. So let's stop trying to overplan, and let's understand that the plan that we have is good enough, and move forward so that way spirit can actually have access to be able to help us with the things that are bigger than us. Then we have the Wheel in its reverse position. This is good, because this tells me that you're already in the shit, and that things have no choice but to go up. They have no choice but to get better. Why do I say that? Back to when I said earlier about everything, like everyone being in their own personal season. Nothing stays stagnant. Everything is moving constantly. And life has a natural ebb and flow, just like there's low tide and high tide of the ocean. It's natural. So right now, yeah, you're in a low point and it sucks, but there's purpose to it and there's growth for it, and I promise you that. But it's going to get better. It has no choice. That is the literal natural cycle of life. Again, I feel like you're resisting that. I literally feel resistance as I'm saying that, because it's almost too good to be true. And I really need you to just open up to the possibility that good things can happen to you. And then we got the Seven of Cups in its reverse position. Again, if you needed more evidence that we're in resistance, the fact that we have 3 cards in reverse position is hightail resistance energy. And then with the Seven of Cups in its reverse position, I'm understanding that right now you made a decision, but right now you're feeling trapped by that decision, instead of realizing all the opportunities that you have, and that this one decision isn't the only decision that you have to stick with. So hear me out. You made a decision, you decide to go after something, you decide to do something, which that's all great. Like, I'm not against that. But just because you chose one cup doesn't mean you can't also do another cup. Like, yeah, maybe choosing one cup takes 2 other cups away from you, fine, but like, you still have other opportunities. You don't just have to do this one thing. You can do multiple things, and you can also change your mind. If you realize that these jewels and this jewelry isn't doing it for you, and instead you want to go to the castle, cool, go to the castle. Like, it's okay. You can change your mind. If you just need permission to change your mind, I'm giving it to you. 5 of Cups. It's the grief card. And grief is hard. There's no easy way around it. The only way to get over grief is to go through grief. You literally have to do the work. I get this. This feels like past energy in the sense of like, this might be something fresh or new in the sense of like what you're experiencing. The grief that you're experiencing is fresh or new. But I feel like the cause of the grief has happened a little bit of time ago. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but this is what I'm getting, and I'm trusting spirit with this. And I want you to understand that, like, yes, it happened some time ago. And right now, you're dealing with it again. But that's literally how grief works. Grief is sloppy. Grief is messy. There is no how-to grief manual. My dad died when I was 1. I have continuously grieved my father in different parts of my life my whole life. You know, when I was like, I want to say I was 36 or 37, I hadn't cried about my dad in like 2 or 3 years at that point, and I was like, okay, good, I'm done. Like, you know, daddy blues, I've experienced all that I'm going to experience about this grief. And something happened, and once again, the grief that I don't have a father, a living father, overwhelmed me again. And this is 36 years after it. So my point in telling you the story and sharing this information with you is just because it happened a while back ago and you're feeling the emotion and you're going through it again doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you didn't do the process. It doesn't mean you didn't do the work. It's just what grief is. It hits you in layers. It hits you in different ways. And every time there's a lesson from it. And it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it fun. But there's a purpose for it. And if you allow yourself once again to work through the grief, you're going to find a few things. You're going to find that it's easier this time. And you might find more clarity of why it's happening to you. Now I'm going to ask for next steps. I want some help to help us know what it is we have to move forward, to help us move through this grief, because that's huge and that's an uncomfortable situation. But also to help us understand, oh, okay, those cards flip themselves over. To help us understand what it is that will help us to receive that good news that we are not wanting to receive. All right, let's do what the cards that flipped over first. So these are upside down. All right, synchronicity. So that's coming through, and that's just a really pretty card. This is coming through, and it's one of those things where it's like, pay attention to the synchronicities that are happening in your life. Realize that is spirit working with you, whatever it might be for you. Don't just wash it away and say, oh, that's just a coincidence. That's easy to do, and that's logical to do because that's what society has taught you to do. But those synchronicities, those are what are letting you know that you are on the right path, that you are going in the right direction. Trust them, lean into them. Rest, which I get it. There is a point in my life where I'm like, how much more flipping rest can I even get? I'm so tired of resting. But hear me out. Rest is needed for healing, for recovering, for transmuting, and for transforming. Like, rest is so necessary. The fact that we and every animal has to rest at some point of their day, that's how important rest is. But two, understand that it has to be proper rest. I'm not talking about when you're burnt out. I'm not talking after you've worked 18 hours and then you just pass out on your couch or in your bed. I'm talking about proper rest. I'm talking about giving yourself a full 8 hours of sleep. I'm talking about making sure that you have time for yourself, to take care of yourself. You need to allow yourself rest. So if you've been with my channel, you know how insignificant it is for me when I receive a tarot card and the oracle cards. Because this is telling me that change is part of this. That change is what's driving this. This is that pivotal moment I was talking about. Like, if you look, okay, there's, the center. You're in that center. You are becoming a new person. You are working through something so transformational, so big, that you're never going to be able to go back to the old ways. This isn't small, and this isn't temporary. And that's why it's difficult. You can do this, though. And I get it. Part of this could be the fact that you're having to go through this change. Part of this could be that you're going to be sad of who that older version of you is. But trust the process and trust spirit. Moonshine. Find peace in the stillness. Find peace within your own darkness. Find peace, in the nighttime. Because this is that card, that is that reminder that internal, when you go inside, There's a lot of darkness inside of you. And I don't mean darkness as a bad thing, okay? Literally, the womb, the thing that we come out of, that every human being is born out of, that's darkness. That's life. That's creation. I'm not asking you to look at the negativity. That's gunky. That's gross. I'm asking you to find solitude in the darkness. Because when you do, that's when you're going to see what's shining bright within inside of you. That's when you allow yourself to see the moon, the beauty of the moon. I don't know one person who doesn't look up at the sky and still find awe at the majestic of the moon. So give yourself that chance to retreat, to go within, to journal, to meditate, to find peace in the stillness and the darkness, and see what parts of you are asking to shine. I'm gonna put that there. Now I just want to ask the cards for some encouragement. Some encouragement to help us through this. To get us to understand that what we're doing is very real. That we are deserving of whatever it is that we're going for. That good things are allowed to happen to us. And that we are allowed to receive good things. Take the leap. Oh, I love it when cards and spirits do this. Like, I love it when spirit throws this at me. I literally talked about you being on the pinnacle, about being in that center, about you, just being right there. Literally, take the leap. Jump in. You're ready. And if you needed more permission, there it is. Be the storm. Oh, I love this card. I love this card because if you look, this is a surfer, and that surfer is riding smooth on that wave. And you, if you're that storm, if you are owning your energy so much, that's exactly what you're going to be doing too. You have the ability to ride whatever comes at you with that much confidence. If you just allow yourself to experience life to the fullest instead of trying to contain yourself in this rigidity that's holding you back. Oh, show up scared. Yeah. Even the cards aren't going to deny that what you're doing is slightly terrifying. But do it anyway. Show up scared. Because the more you do that, oh my god, I just realized too that this is a moon and you got the moonshine card. This is a perfect visual for the message I was talking about with this. That darkness allows you to see that moon so brightly that even the lamp can't compare to the brightness of the moon. So, yeah, show up scared, but still show up for yourself. Oops. Small wins matter. This one is the most beautiful way to wrap up this reading, because look at all those stepping stones. Each one of these stepping stones is a small win, and each one of these stepping stones is getting you closer and closer to your goal. Celebrate the small wins, because those are the things that really keep you moving forward. The big ones are fun, yeah, don't get me wrong. But I feel like that's why when I got this celebration card, I got such a different and unique message, and it was because of the active celebration that you need to do. You need to actively celebrate those small wins. You need to stop shrugging them off. Stop shrugging off the small wins just like you're shrugging off the synchronicities. All these things that you are just taking for granted almost are there to help you and support you and guide you. So trust it. I know what I'm asking for, again, is scary, but show up scared. Spirit's asking you to do that, and you can do it. This is the reading for today, and feel free to tell me what resonated in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Or if you have any questions, feel free to ask those in the comments as well. I know that you're really being asked to trust and to take that leap and to, go through some things that feel hard. But once you do it, I want you to imagine how freeing it's going to be and realize that you can embody that freedom right now, right in this moment. You got this. You can do it. I know you can do it because you have made it to this point of the video and your heart has heard every word. And that part of you is what knows that you're going to succeed. You're amazing. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you again soon.